Welcome back to another episode of our Wednesday Icon Talk. I am His Excellency Dakar, and tonight we have our Wednesday Icon Talk Masterclass 10 Coaches Matter. And this is sponsored by CairoSpeaks, CairoWrites. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Coaches, like why coaches matter. And coaching, the word coaching is a very much like a hot button topic, and you hear that very often. And people are talking about coaching and the importance of coaching. But what exactly is coaching, right? And what does a coach do? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Chappell. When it comes to coaching, when you have a coach is an accountability partner. It's someone who keeps you on your toes. I know that so many of us, we have our New Year's resolutions, for example, and we say, oh, starting January 1st, I'm going to start going to the gym, 4 to 5 times a week. And I'm going to, be lifting weights. And I'm also going to be reading every day. And I'm going to be writing and journaling every day. And then nobody holds you to it, right? You hold yourself to it and you don't even hold yourself to it. Let's be honest, right? And so having someone who keeps you honest and accountable about what you're doing, no matter if you have fitness goals or if you have goals to be able to develop your business even further, etc., that person will make sure that you not only are saying what you want to do, but then ensuring that you also keep to your word. And they help you also to be a sounding board. So for example, let's say that you have some different directions in which you can go in your business and you're trying to figure out, okay, which one would be the best avenue? Which way should I be going with my business or with my relationship or my fitness goals? And they can oftentimes be that listening ear that will then, share those, share the ideas back to you. And sometimes when we talk out loud, we don't quite realize what we're saying. But when it comes to a coach is trained to have active listening. So they're listening for different cues. And if you even know that there are some coaches who are trained in studying the linguistics, studying the eye movement that you have, for example, and being able to tell perhaps where your thought patterns are as a result of even the way in which you look, even the directions in which you're looking. They can ask you questions that then provide revelations or insight. Right. And then last, but certainly not least, these are 3 different ways in which a coach can help you. There's so many different ways, but just for the sake of time, I wanted to share 3. The third is brainstorming. So sometimes you may need someone to not just be a passive ear to tell you what you're saying and help you craft how you may be perceiving things that you might not even be aware of, but also brainstorming, right? And helping you figure out, for example, I've had people that I've coached where there's a solution, right? There's a solution, but maybe they're not seeing it. Maybe they're having a really hard time. Maybe they're stuck. And that's what a coach does. The coach helps you to get unstuck. And there are different ways to, self-coach, for example, right? So how I used to self-coach and how I continue to self-coach really is daily gratitude in the morning and being able to find 5 things that I'm grateful for that has happened in the last 24 hours. And it's not just 5 things I'm grateful for in general. It's not like I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my hair. I don't know, people have different things they're grateful for, but what am I grateful for that happened in the last 24 hours? I'm grateful that I was able to be in front of all of you and be able to be your mistress of ceremonies. I'm grateful to get to learn from all of you. I'm grateful that I got some really good rest. I'm grateful that I was able to light a nice eucalyptus mint candle this morning, and I just was able to debrief, and then breathe in and breathe out. These are things that once you put them in today's terms and you realize, okay, what you should be grateful for today, it changes your perspective on life. Next is, listening to so also journaling as well as looking at what you journal, right? That's something that I've realized that a lot of people don't oftentimes do, is they will, they'll journal how they feel, but then don't go back and re-examine it. And when you re-examine it from a third person point of view, you realize where your mind was. Maybe you were too busy looking into the situation, but now that you've taken a step back, you've gone for a walk, you can come back with a fresh mind and you can look at that same journal entry and say, wait a second, I think I didn't realize that I could have looked at this a different way, or I didn't realize that there was a solution right under my nose, but being able to read it again and read it with a different mindset helps you. And then also what I do is I exchange audios with my friends who are in different time zones or just different like work schedules. And what I'll do is if there's something that's going on in my life, I'll send an audio to them. And then I'll listen to the audio. So I listen to what I said and I listen to my tone. I listen to how I was feeling about it. I listen to the kind of words that I used. Am I blowing things out of proportion? Am I valid in how I feel? These are the sort of questions I'm asking myself, right? But sometimes you can't, maybe there are things that you can self-coach on, but maybe you do need some help. Maybe you do need a second person, a perspective, or someone who's trained and licensed to be able to coach, to be able to help you go even deeper or further into the self-coaching. Right. And so as an internationally certified leadership coach and executive coach as well, it's really important to me to showcase and highlight why coaching is so important. I have coaches that I peer coach as well as I have clients, and it's important to recognize, for example, how coaching can really be able to benefit your life and help you recognize some of the missing pieces that perhaps you weren't even aware of. Maybe you didn't realize that you had a mindset of scarcity until someone else was able to help you identify it and also help you realize that you don't have to feel that way. So with that being said, let's see, we have 4 more minutes. What I would like to do is I'm going to go into gallery view right now, and I have the people who are panelists over here, those who you can all see their screens. If you are a coach, and I believe Reverend Dr. Sean Nicholson, I know you're a coach, SMN coaching, right? If you can please raise your hand or wave. And what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to put in the chat your name and the type of coaching that you offer, because I would like for this to be an opportunity to network with other coaches. Perhaps you would like to be peer coach, or you need a coach yourself. I wanted to at least provide a foundation as to why coaching is so important, right? And to share, for example, ways in which you can coach yourself, but also when you need someone else or you need someone who's trained in this area, please be sure to reach out to them. So my specialties are more executive coaching, productivity. I love productivity hacks, and I want to be able to help you be as efficient as possible. And then also the executive coaching as in speech coaching. So I work with people in terms of speech writing. Not only do I do their speech writing for them, ghostwriting it, but I also help them present it. And I've done this for some of my clients getting ready for international conferences or speaking, at different events or, in political arenas. I've been able to help them and prepare their speech and also help them craft it so that they are articulate and presenting themselves the way that they would like to. What I would like to do, if it's all right with you all, is I would like to take just 5 minutes, and I'll time this out, but I would like each person to just give 1 minute, a 1-minute intro to their coaching and what makes them stand out. So I'm going to start with Reverend Dr. Margaret Chaplin. I'm going to ask you to unmute. And if you would please be so kind as to talk a little bit more about the life and marriage coaching that you do. What distinguishes you?
I am a life and marriage coach. I believe that what distinguishes, well, first of all, I think that everyone really knows, understands that what their life needs in terms of progressing through their life. And what I do is I question and listen and probe to find out what they really want to achieve, what's stopping them from achieving it, and then coming up with a strategy with them. But I want them to really determine that themselves, because if they own it and they can identify it and they can find solutions, it's much more, they're much more willing and able to then self-correct. I think that I help them move out of their comfort zones, because all of us have a comfort zone. And so I want them to be able to move out of that comfort zone and look to what things that are possible outside of that comfort zone. In marriage, I was married for 47 years. I understand the dynamics of it. And I think what makes both my life coaching and my marriage coaching is that it's all biblically centered. It's based upon the word of God and the roles and responsibilities he has for us as man and woman. I think also understanding those roles and understanding that we cannot fulfill those roles without the Spirit of the Most High God. So being able to make those connections and weave that thread through their lives, and then ask them questions of, okay, so how do you take the word of God and you apply it? It's practical application. And so I do that.
Thank you. I apologize for having to cut you off because you're giving so much knowledge, but I want to allow everyone to give a bit of an introduction as well. But you shared some incredible information. So thank you. And please be sure to connect with her if you're interested in being able to be coached in this area. Next, we'll have Thurman Brown, chaplain, talk about life coaching. And if you can please keep it to under 1 minute so that way we can have everyone listen. Thank you.
Yes, many of y'all, well, I've shared with the Chancellor and His Excellency the CAR, part of my lived experience. I was a person who was unjustly incarcerated for 12 years, 9 months, and 17 days.
Oh, wow.
So, out of 34 and a half to 54 years. So I came home in 2009. So I took my lived experience, got my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, my certification in substance abuse. And what I try to convey to people is that regardless of what your circumstances may be, God is still God. And He can change your life. 1 minute you're looking at a 50-foot wall, and the next minute you're in the middle of Times Square recreating your life. So what I want people to understand that, just around the corner, if you don't get exhausted, your life can change. But you got the way they said, the scripture says, the race does not necessarily go to the swift, but one who endureth. You got to be willing to endure. So what I try to convey to people is you got to have courage in your conviction. You have to continue on. It's like the slaves when they were running through the water, wade in the water. God's going to trouble the water. You have to be persistent in what it is that you want. And you have to have faith that it's going to be yours. So that's what I do in life coaching. I just try to give people a contrast. This is where you're at, and this is where you could be if you continue to persevere. So I think that's where I'm at with it.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Chaplain Brown. And I would also like to give Chaplain Egbert Bachelor, if you can please share with us more about how you coach and who you coach, why you coach them. 1 minute, please, because I believe Reverend Dr. Sean Nicholson will be after you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am into leadership coaching. I have a background in training sales reps. And one of the first things I taught them is to learn to listen. God gave you 2 ears, 1 mouth, so you listen twice as much as you speak. So when I coach folks, I first try to help them to find out who they are by asking questions, open-ended questions, closed-ended questions, and so on. And I listen, use active listening skills, and I try to identify what their passions are, their propensities, what they want to do, what they think they are, who they think they are, and so on. And then I try to walk them through strategies as to how they can get there. I try to give them an understanding of who they are from God's perspective, and whether or not that matches up to who they see they are from their own perspective. And then I try to show them solutions and ways in which they can accomplish that and materialize that worth. Basically, I hope I stood in the minute.
You did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. I appreciated your concise, but still very informative summary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Reverend Dr. Sean Nicholson if you can give 1 minute as well. I'd love for you to share your story.
Well, my overall story, I've been working with the chaplaincy in a few different prisons that are here in the city. And it's always about leadership development and entrepreneurship skills, because most of the folks that I come in contact with are felons. And a large part of the felons are not able to get a job anywhere, especially in the state of Virginia. because there's very low leniency to that. So we try to teach them entrepreneurship skills, or basically show them how to monetize the business ideas that they have. And I think I alluded to this in something else that we did as far as creating a business canvas, so that we can basically see what it is that they're looking for, and how that they can get involved into doing that. I love what the other panelists have mentioned about talking to them and identifying their pain points to at least figure out a strategy from where they are, because that's important. You need to know where they are in order to take them where they should be able to go. So those are some of the things that I'm just grateful now that this is just something more that we'll be able to add to our arsenal in helping these individuals that we come in contact with. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And with that being said, everyone, we're going to go ahead and conclude these panels. So I appreciate you all being able to listen in, first on the importance of a biography and storytelling with a purpose, and then also why coaching matters.
And now we're going to get into our outstanding global workers. First, we do have Miss Lavette Ojori Davis. Can you please take us away?
Hi, my name is Lavette Ojori, and I am with BioHealth Case Management. I am the owner. I've been doing case management for over 15 years, with BioHealth for about 7 years. We are looking to expand, and our main focus is working with children and family, and also with the elderly population, 65 and older. The goal is to be able to provide services, gaps in services for individuals who lack the resources to have, get the help that they need. In addition, we're looking for more hands-on with other companies that could help us provide the services for the individuals who lack the financial means to do so. I can be reached at 321-330-9685. Email is lojuri@biohealthcmh.com. We do also have a secondary email, which is bhcmanagement2022@outlook.com. And our website is www.biohealthcmh.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And we have myself, His Excellency Dakar, CEO, Dakar Marketing Tools, Director of Operations at GODSU. I am Dakar Marketing Tools. We're an international graphic printing company, providing you with all of your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are branded rings, branded pins, branded golf shirts, and branded jackets. We also have our GODSU African Diasporan Bibles. In addition, we provide merchandise that's crucial to your business's success, such as magazines, banners, flyers, digital business cards, and printed business cards. And with our innovative tools, you can turn your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. During this time of constant Zoom meetings and webinars, we at Dakar Marketing Tools want to make sure you're prepared with our Zoom for Profits course. You can follow the information on the screen for how to register for our on-demand course. Some of the offered courses are how to make money doing Zoom, Zoom Essentials, Zoom Basics, and turning your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. And at this time, I would like to extend a special appreciation to GODSU leaders who have volunteered many hours. We especially thank those who have provided actual names, emails, and phone numbers of referrals for GODSU. We're grateful for the opportunity to add workers of God to our database, as well as register for educational programs. And I want to remind you to please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And next week, we do have another Wednesday Icon Talk Masterclass 11 out of our December 2021 Empower You conference. That was $1 Million Builder Brain Trust, and that's sponsored by PME. Our moderator for that was Assistant Dean Dr. Daniel Porte. So we'd love to see you next week, March 23rd. Thank you.